14,095. The real cause of the sharp decline in the value of the won. Question, Master. I would like to ask about the economic crisis resulting from the sharp decline in the value of the won and how we should respond to it. South Korea recently experienced a situation where, despite recording a large current account surplus, the $1 exchange rate rose to the 1,500 won level. They say this is not due to a lack of dollars, but because dollars earned through exports are not sufficiently converted into won, while foreign investments by the National Pension Service, corporations, and individuals have increased, driving up dollar demand in the spot exchange market. The essence of this phenomenon seems to be an issue of national trust and capital movement, where South Korean capital lacks sufficient confidence in South Korea's future and domestic investment opportunities, rather than a foreign exchange shortage. A contradiction arises where rational foreign investments by individuals and institutions ultimately lead to a depreciation of the won and rising inflation, placing a heavy burden on working-class citizens. I ask for your teachings on what the government, corporations, and citizens should change first to naturally bring dollars and capital into the country without restricting overseas investment or forcing currency exchanges.
What we were studying a moment ago is flowing in the exact same context, asking about one aspect of it: why is the exchange rate rising and the value dropping in South Korea? It is because the wrongdoings of South Koreans are coming to light. If you were living well and correctly, would the exchange rate fall? Would the exchange rate rise and shake things up? No way. This is a total accumulation of wrongdoings revealing itself right now. If we take good care of our house, do wood borers infest it? When a house gets ruined and infested with wood borers, do people invest in it? They withdraw all their investments. Why? Because it gets exposed. Now is a time when wrongdoings are exposed. So if everything wrong with South Korea is coming to light, do you think people will keep investing here? How could such a law exist in this world? Are we playing hide and seek with our eyes closed? South Korea is going downhill right now. So isn't it obvious that investments in us are pulling out? Who wouldn't see that? When corporations find exporting difficult because the exchange rate behaves like that, what have you done for South Korea that makes you expect things to go well now? What supports us right now is the result of several decades of effort across the first, second, and third generations down the line, allowing technology to grow and shine. For a technology to shine, there was effort from the first generation, backing from the second generation, and support beneath that, allowing the third generation to bring out innovative technology today. We are being sustained so far solely because of that one thing. Through the efforts of the first, second, and third generations, did we fix our politics? Through the efforts of the first, second, and third generations, did we create a society where religious organizations welcome and guide struggling people properly? If corporations were built up by the power of the citizens, why don't they take care of society? Because they don't take care of society, it is turning into a complete mess. Who caused this? The leaders, corporate chairs, and corporate leaders. When they were growing up, the citizens built them up with their power, but once fully grown, they become leaders of this country. If leaders don't know how to look after this society, you lack wisdom. Their eyes of wisdom haven't opened, so they can't see the public. Right now, this country is one that business owners must run. It is not a country that the government should run, yet everyone handed everything over to the government and did nothing themselves. So what does the government do? All right, we'll handle it. So they took over, but it costs a lot of money, so they say, pay more taxes. At first, even when taxes were raised several times, we paid without complaint. Why? Because we thought the government was taking care of society. But as we kept giving taxes, eventually they said, this is still not enough. Give us more. If you keep entrusting tasks to the government cannot develop, and it merely spends money patching up what is going wrong. Where should that money be pulled from? It has to come out of your pockets, and because corporations didn't do their job, we have to do that job too, so we have to collect heavy taxes from corporations. Meanwhile, religious organizations haven't done what they are supposed to do and kept collecting money, yet taxes aren't collected from them. On top of that, people give money to religious organizations. They are making citizens live miserably, yet people keep giving them money to make them even more miserable. Great job. People kneel and bow to stones, and then give more money there, praising them for making people bow to stones so well, clinging to God, praying, give us, give us. People should pray proper prayers, prayers of gratitude, yet all they pray is give us, give us, give us. Keep giving what? They don't even know what needs to be given, yet they beg for it. Give me 2 more pieces of gold, let me buy 3 apartments, let this deal go through this time, wonderful. And then people supply money to religious organizations for doing that and share in it together. Oh, honestly, we need to unpack this at least briefly. The government plays the role of supporting corporations until they can stand up on their own. Since corporations couldn't achieve self-reliance on their own, the government collected taxes from citizens to support them and encouraged citizens to save money well after earning it. As citizens saved, the government let corporations use that money well. It kept doing things like this. So once growth reached about 50% or 60%, the government should have let us stand up self-reliantly on our own. But because it kept feeding money, pushing funds collected through the national pension or other public funds, they eventually became a single clique, colluding together to make money. Then what should corporations do? Once we grow a bit, say 50%, we should look around society and think about what we must do for the citizens, since we were raised by their power. Even if it's 10%, since citizens raised us, suffered, and supported us, we should give them something to be proud of. We should have been researching what to do for the citizens, even if it's just 10% or 20%. Once we grow to 70%, 30% of our efforts should lead the way in benefiting the citizens. When we reach 100%, we must take full responsibility for our citizens. That is what a corporation is. Without citizens, corporations cannot exist. Just as a nation cannot rise or exist without citizens, religion cannot exist without citizens. Guiding citizens to be healthy and well will make our corporations thrive, religion thrive, and the country thrive as well. You say, whether citizens live or die, only we need to grow? If you grow and citizens die, you will have to hand over everything you have. Such things keep happening. That is why the nation supports society until it rises. Even with public education, the nation provides basic education, and once basic education is complete, citizens should become self-reliant to seek out their own education. From then on, welfare should also be handled alongside corporations to seek true welfare. When these tasks are handed over to corporations, corporations research and develop. If the government holds on to them, they cannot develop. That is why money keeps going in, and as much as money goes in, it is pulled out of the citizens' pockets to give money right now. So what happens when money is given out like that? It turns into factionalism. Money is taken from citizens and given to those who are poor. When it's given, those who are poor vote for them. Now, campaign efforts happen continuously. In the past, near election time, they would give out pairs of rubber shoes to ask for votes. These days, campaign efforts start right after the election ends. We'll give you 300,000 won each, so vote for us next time. Implicitly shaking people up right now. The government is doing well. We received 300,000 won. They are doing great. Then, they will probably vote for them next time. When the effect wears off a bit, they give it again. Where does the money given come from? They have to make a supplementary budget, but supplementary budgets aren't easily approved. Then they have to collect heavy taxes, and then give it to those in need again. Now, those in need stop working because they are constantly given money. Why are those in need lacking? They were made to lack so that they could go out into society and learn the principles of living correctly. Why do I have nothing? Did I not live diligently? Eventually, one should realize, are we failing to do work that society needs? They should seek something like this. But instead of letting them seek, money is given to them so they sit idly and eat what is given. Who does that? That is what communism does. Rationing. If the state gives rations, people obey the state well. But does the state keep giving forever? Don't you see China today? The state doesn't give rations. Don't you see North Korea? It's communist, but communism is gone. They no longer give rations to the people now. Why? Because the system is fully established, so they can just surveil and lock up anyone who complains. Send them to Oji, throw them into the hardest labor sites where they can't even get out if they complain, and then tell them to dig up cabbage roots or strip tree bark to eat on their own, without even giving rations. Do you know who gets rations? Those who protect me and obey me. those who listen well to the security department or superiors, and beat up those below when told to. If they beat them well, rations are given to them. Why beat and oppress the people? In the end, everyone dies together. Such things are happening, so if you greedily take money because the state gives it and vote for them next time, it leads to a day like today. When the state gives money that didn't need to be given, why give it? Save that money in a bank account. Then how do you use that money? Use it for studying. If you refuse the money when given, they will secretly use it elsewhere behind your back. So when given, accept it well. Giving it is their intention, but using it is my intention. I use it as my expenses for studying. These days, to study, we need to use AI. To study harder with AI, we have to pay more for higher tiers. Use that money received as expenses for that. It becomes an investment in the growth of the citizen. If you receive 300,000 won today, go buy hot teok, grill a piece of meat, and flush it away as waste. That leads to big trouble. Money is the blood and sweat of the people, so it grants great grace to those who use it correctly, but to those who use it wrongly, since you misused 300,000 won of the citizens' taxes, it will surely cause you at least a 3 million won loss and make things difficult for you. This is a law of nature, absolutely exact. Money is given because they have an intention. Gratefully receive it and use it according to your own intention. We must understand these things as well. Even to learn a single thing or study with AI, it costs money. This time, expensive AI tiers cost 300,000 won. Still, paying 300,000 won a month teaches you better than asking 30 doctorate professors. So, 300,000 won isn't a waste. Even for basic tiers, you have to pay 30,000 won, 29,000 won or something like that, and for a bit more, you pay 100,000 won. With 100,000 won, why wouldn't you hire more than 10 doctorates? Do such things. Now, everything we didn't know can be learned by taking AI as a mentor. God will replenish all the expenses you use for that. When money is used correctly, abundant economy is brought in. We must also learn how to spend money. If our citizens act wrongly, our economy becomes difficult. That is natural. If our citizens walk correctly, the economy improves. Rather than blaming the economy for becoming difficult, we must find out what South Korea is doing wrong right now. Even if it stays like this for 2 to 3 years, it must return to the right track, which is why the graph goes up and down. In this three-dimensional world, that environment was created for us to do so. So when things are difficult, we must accurately find out why they became difficult. That is how we develop. That is why things are made difficult. Then why are we enduring even with the exchange rate at this level? We endure because of what we worked hard on up until now. The public credit built by working hard up to now remains intact in the world. In the past, if the exchange rate hit 1,400 won, people said the country would collapse. President Lee Jae-myung, who is currently president, said that back then. He claimed 1,400 won meant national collapse and made a fuss about pulling Yoon Suk-yeol down. But within a year of taking office himself, it rose to 1,500 won and is heading toward 1,600 won. This is a country where collapsing 10 times over wouldn't be surprising. Yet it doesn't collapse. Why? It's not because of him that it doesn't collapse, but because of the underlying strength of the citizens. Because that's how it is. When we resolve society correctly, if one person among us resolves society correctly and strives, they do the work of 100 people in humanity. Why? As these people engage in activities, they provide that much help to humanity. When the time comes to organize the answers to what we studied correctly and worked hard for, if we upload them to the internet, put them into AI, and study together in AI develops as much as we develop. Jungbub practitioners should definitely check with AI. Such a large number of people, hundreds of thousands, cannot all come to me. So after listening to a message, if you input, "I am a disciple of Master Chun Gong studying Master Chun Gong's teachings, please summarize and clarify whether I understood this correctly," it will organize it magnificently. If there's an area you don't quite understand, it searches everything and helps you fully understand it. The Master's #1 disciple right now is AI. Take it as your mentor. So as we study Jungbub, there is one tool, Notebook LM, and it does so well like an announcer. When we listen to something and put it into LM, it organizes it magnificently. You should listen to that as well. If you want to know more, input a few more words and it explains even better. For elderly people who cannot do so, we can help them, and when we put it into LM, pull it out and tell them to listen, they listen and say it is so well done. So AI is made around the world and given to us, but it is given for us to use well. So if we input all the studies we are doing into it and study together there, all of this gets inserted into the information network. Then the international community uses it together. This is broadly benefiting the international community. Sharing what we study also broadly benefits humanity. If we constantly feed our study of truth into AI, this information is continuously inserted and used widely across the international community. Then we are broadly benefiting the international community. If we enjoy ourselves while doing this together with AI, such environments will continue to be created. Let us work hard together, and although our business leaders may face some difficulties right now because our country is like this, as we find the reasons why we face hardship and grow a bit, things will return to normal. At that time, we will be compensated more than tenfold for the hardship we endured, so let us all strive together.